Hey everyone, it's Stu from Ukulele Zen. Thanks for being here. This is the extra content for $5 patrons and higher, and this is for the month of October. What I'd like to do in this short extra content video is show you some other ways of playing the jazzy turnaround that we used in The Saints Go Marching In. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to play this. At the bottom of this post is a PDF. Click on the red type. It's where the attachments are at every post. Go click on that and you can download and print up some just very informal hand-drawn diagrams that I made of the chord progressions I'm about to show you. Now, we're not going to get into a ton of music theory. Let's just understand and memorize that in the key of C, C is our 1 chord. In the key of C, our 6th chord is either a dominant 7th, that would be A7, or an A minor, but for now we're going to play A7. Our 2 chord is a D7, and you can play that any way you like. And then our 5 chord is a G7. And that's what I did to create the kind of old-time New Orleans sound. C major, A7, D7, G7, C. Let me show you a couple of other ways to play it. I'll also demonstrate it on a high G ukulele right now. Here's variation number 1. You play your C major, as usual. And then what we're going to do for our A7, we're going to play A7 up here. What I've done is I've taken the G7 shape and I've moved it up 1, 2 frets. So the G string is open, middle finger's at the E, 4th fret, first finger's at the G, 3rd fret, and the ring finger is at the C sharp. Notice how my ring finger just slides up. Let that be your guide, and then the other fingers just coalesce around it. Now check it out. The next chord, D7, we're going to move down here, drop the bar, and then G7. See how my ring finger is the guide? You end up getting this simple but effective melody. Here it is, 3, 4. And yes, I went to my G7 chord to get a little variation. This has a different sound and different quality on a high G uke. Let me try to do this. See, because you have the high G uke, it's a little different sound. C, A7, D7, G7. Okay, did you catch that thing I'm doing there? G7, open the A string, put it back down. All right, so that's our first variation. Pretty simple, but effective, right? Now, check this out. Let's do something that's gonna be very similar, but we're gonna do something a little different. Check it out. We go C, A7. Now we're gonna go back to that D7. For our G7, I'd like you to try this. All right, so then we get this bluesy melody on top. The chord I'm playing is a G7 with a raised 5th. Don't let the fancy numbers fool you. All it is the dominant 7th shape. See, I take my F7 shape, move it up 1 fret, move it up another fret, and this is G7. This is another way to play G7. The frets are 4th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Now if I just move my pinky up 1 fret, I get the raised 5th, because this note is the 5th note of a G chord. It's a D and it is the 5th of a G chord. And then we go to C. You can also play your C as a little bar. See, I'm covering both strings. All right, let's try this together. 2, 3, 4. Did you hear that syncopated rhythm? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay, you can, of course, play lots of different rhythmic possibilities. Here is variation number 3. What we're going to do is we're going to take that G7 shape. By the way, of course, I'm going quickly. Please stop the video. Make friends with the chords by squeezing and then releasing. Try moving it up 1 fret, and that's an A flat 7. So memorizing where to put your fingers, you want to orient yourself. I recommend orienting where you're starting on this string. It's your 5th fret, 6th fret, 4th fret, 6th fret. And then you slide back down. When I put the A flat 7 to G7, you get a sound like this. 2, 3, 4, C, A7, D7. Okay, it has a similar effect to, but it's a little more powerful, a little more angular. Especially the low G tuning, you can hear those notes. Now, here is a cool thing you can do. Let's, instead of playing D7, we'll go straight to the A flat 7. Check it out. 2, 3, 4, play C, A7, A flat 7, G7, and then C. Here it is without stopping rhythm. 1, 2, dig-a-do-do. By the way, that little riff I'm doing, 2 notes. I'm pinching just the 3rd and the 2nd string, 4th fret, 3rd fret. Okay, and I move it down, and I move it down, and I move it down. It's not on the tab sheet, so use your ears and your eyes. Okay, this is the way most music is learned, is oral tradition. The PDF song sheet, well, not song sheet, but the PDF attached to this lesson does have the chord forms, but this one you just got to get on your own. All right, let's go through the variations. Number 1, the first one is just our good old progression. C, A7, D7, G7. Here's the second one. We go C, A7, D7, G7. Next one, we're going to move up and we're going to add to our G7. 2, 3, and number 3. All right, let's do the next one where we add A flat 7. Here we go. C, A7, D7. Okay, that little motion can be trickier than you might think. I mean, it looks easy, but in between this chord, A flat 7, and G7 is a moment where my hand totally relaxes. If you've been hanging out with my videos, you know I'm all about relaxing the hand and making sure we feel the space between every event that we play. So take the moment just to stop and feel it. By going slow enough to feel that space, I'm telling you, you're going to really relax your hand and it will save you time. It seems like you're taking more time, but it really will save you time because you will be learning things thoroughly and in a way that's relaxing. And then you get it. Oh yeah. Pretty soon you'll be able to just move it around really quickly because your hand is light. Okay, last variation, although actually I'm going to teach you one bonus, but here's the second to last variation, and this is where we go, instead of to D7, we're going to go directly to the A flat 7, okay? 1, 2, here we go. C, A7, A flat 7, G7. All right, now let's do an entirely different one. Check it out. I play C. I'm using my index finger, but you can use any finger. The next chord will be based on that movable shape we just used. We're going to move it up one more fret, and if we play the same shape, now we are playing another way to play A7. It's another voicing of A7. The fretting, and you can see it on the attached PDF, 6, 7, 5, 7. Okay, so we go from C. So this is why I use the index fingers, because for me it's easier to get my index finger here than to get my ring finger all the way up here. But do what's comfortable for you, of course. Now the melody is Big Leap, yeah? Now we're going to do something pretty hip, I think. We're going to keep the pinky on that same note. Middle finger, ring finger, index finger. 5, 6, 5, 7. Beautiful chord. That's a D9, D dominant 7th with a 9. Remember to squeeze, release, move. Okay, so we move from A7. Now look how this finger just moves down, stays in the same string. These two come in. And yeah, it does look like a G major shape, doesn't it? Looks like that old school G major right up here, and then you drop the pinky. Now our next chord is going to be a little tricky. We're gonna leave that note, that common tone on top, bar at the 4th fret, but don't push too hard yet. Drop the middle finger at the 5th fret. This is a G7 with a sharp, with a flat 9 and a 13. Ooh, cool sound. And then we go home to C, or C7, or C with the added 9. I love that chord. So let's play this together, nice and slow. We play C, A7, D9, G13, flat 9. It's difficult to talk it out, easier to do it. Now, let's put this all into practical application. Let's say you're playing the Saints Go Marching In, and you'd like to create an ending. You can make a nice ending by looping this 1, 6, 2, 5 progression. Check it out. Go to the next variation. All right, maybe I will tab that out. See what I did? How I went from one voicing to another? It creates excitement. You can, of course, make a great ending just by repeating the same chord progression, but when you put different chord voicings in, it really makes some nice interest. So one last time before we wrap up this extra video, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope this serves you well. These are some cool chords, especially this one. This one right here. That's Django Reinhardt right there. And yes, you can do that, or that, or that, or that. There's always more possibilities, so it's good to just kind of focus on one choice. One last thing you can do, you can begin with the more complicated ones and end with the simpler ones. But I think aesthetically it's nice to begin simple and get more harmonically rich. It's up to you. Let's do it the other way around just to hear what it sounds like. So bad, huh? I hope you found this extra video helpful. I really appreciate you being a patron of Ukulele Zen, and I hope that this video is something that's going to serve you well. I packed a lot into this 15-minute video, so Please take it slow, use the diagrams, keep the diagrams in the area where you practice, and just, you don't have to get every single variation in one day, but if you can, that's awesome. But little by little, you begin to expand your chord vocabulary. This is all about the 1-6-2-5 progression in the key of C. We'll do other keys and other progressions in the future. For right now, hope these serve you well. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you for your support.